The New York Yankees are clearly entering a decisive moment of this offseason. And even though the external moves have been quiet so far, that does not mean the front office is standing still. There's a growing sense around the league that the Yankees are shifting their focus toward the trade market, and recent developments suggest that serious conversations are happening behind the scenes. This is not about making noise for the sake of it, but about finding a precise fit for what this roster is missing right now. The organization understands that patience is wearing thin among fans, especially with no major additions from outside the system, and that pressure is pushing them toward a more aggressive approach. One of the biggest issues the Yankees are trying to solve is the infield. It has been an ongoing discussion for months, and it has only intensified as the offseason moves forward. The team needs more stability, more athleticism, and most importantly, more balance. Right now, there's a clear desire to add a right-handed bat who can change the dynamic of the lineup. The Yankees have plenty of power, but power alone has not been enough. What they lack is a consistent presence at the top of the order, someone who can set the tone, get on base, and force opposing pitchers to work from the very first inning. That is where trade discussions become especially interesting. There has been internal consideration about moving pieces around the infield, including the possibility of shifting current players into different roles, or even moving on from someone who has been a core part of the roster. These conversations are not easy, but they are necessary if the Yankees want to address multiple needs at once. The idea is not just to plug one hole, but to create a ripple effect that improves the entire defensive alignment while also upgrading the offense. The name that keeps coming up in these discussions is Nicoer, and it is not hard to understand why. From a pure baseball perspective, he checks nearly every box the Yankees are looking for. He brings elite contact skills, excellent plate discipline, speed on the bases, and gold glove-level defense. This is the type of player who impacts the game in ways that do not always show up in home run totals, but are felt over the course of an entire season. The Yankees have been too reliant on the long ball, and that approach has been exposed in recent postseason runs. Adding a player like Hoerner would represent a philosophical shift toward a more complete offensive profile. Last season, Hoerner hit just under a .300 batting average, showing his ability to consistently put the ball in play against all types of pitching. He does not chase pitches outside the zone, he does not strike out at a high rate, and he makes pitchers uncomfortable because every at-bat feels competitive. On top of that, his speed changes the game. He steals bases efficiently, takes extra bases aggressively, and forces defenses to rush throws. That kind of pressure is something the Yankees simply do not have enough of right now. Defensively, Hoerner is as reliable as they come. He has proven he can handle second base at an elite level, and he has also shown that he can play shortstop when needed. His range, instincts, and quick release make him a constant presence on the field. While his arm strength may limit him from playing third base on a regular basis, his value at shortstop or second base is undeniable. For the Yankees, that flexibility matters. It opens the door to creative solutions, whether that means reshuffling the infield or creating competition at positions that have been inconsistent. The idea of installing Hoerner as a leadoff hitter is especially appealing. This is an area where the Yankees have struggled for years. They have tried different options, but none have truly locked down the role. A leadoff hitter who can hit close to .300, draw walks, avoid strikeouts, and steal close to 30 bases changes the entire rhythm of the lineup. Suddenly, the middle of the order is coming up with runners on base more consistently, and opposing teams cannot simply pitch around the big bats. When you imagine this lineup construction, it becomes clear why the Yankees are so intrigued. A contact-oriented leadoff hitter followed by established power threats creates balance. It forces pitchers to navigate different challenges in the same inning, rather than settling into a predictable pattern. This is exactly what the Yankees have been missing, especially in high-pressure games where one swing is not always available. There is also a broader statistical case for why Hoerner makes so much sense. Over the past several seasons, his overall value has ranked among the best at his position across the league. His wins above replacement numbers place him in elite company, comparable to some of the biggest names in baseball. That is not because he does one thing exceptionally well, but because he does everything well. Fielding, base running, contact hitting, situational awareness, all of it adds up. For the Yankees, this is about more than just acquiring a good player. It is about solving multiple problems with one move. They need better defense in the middle infield. They need speed. They need contact. They need a true leadoff hitter. Hoerner addresses all of those needs at once. That kind of efficiency is rare, and it is why the trade market feels like the most logical path forward for this team right now. Of course, making a deal like this would require giving something up, and that is where the real challenge lies. The Yankees would have to decide how far they are willing to go and which assets they are comfortable moving. The key factor here is contract control. Hoerner does not have unlimited years remaining, which could influence how aggressive the Yankees are in negotiations. That said, even a limited window with a player of this caliber could be worth it if it helps push the team closer to a championship window that is very much open. The front office understands that standing still is not an option. Fans want action, but more importantly, the roster demands improvement in very specific areas. This is not about chasing headlines or making a flashy move that looks good on paper. It is about building a team that can win consistently, adapt in October, and avoid the offensive collapses that have defined recent playoff exits. A player like Nicoer Hoerner represents a clear step in that direction, and the fact that his name continues to surface tells you just how seriously the Yankees are considering this path. As these discussions continue to take shape, it becomes more evident that the Yankees are looking at the bigger picture rather than a single positional fix. This is about reshaping the identity of the team on the field. For years, the roster has leaned heavily toward power, often sacrificing contact, speed, and defensive consistency. That imbalance has shown up most painfully when the pressure rises. What the Yankees are exploring now is a way to counter that trend without stripping away what already works. Adding a player like Nicoer Hoerner would immediately change the way opponents prepare for New York. Pitchers would no longer be able to attack the lineup with the same approach from top to bottom. The presence of a disciplined leadoff hitter who consistently puts the ball in play forces early adjustments. Defensive alignments shift, pitch counts climb faster, and mistakes become more costly. These are small edges, but over the course of a season, they accumulate into real wins. Another critical element here is reliability. Hoerner brings a level of consistency that the Yankees have lacked at times in the infield. His defensive metrics have remained strong year after year, and his offensive profile is remarkably stable. He is not prone to extreme slumps driven by strikeouts or chase-heavy at-bats. Instead, he stays within himself, takes what pitchers give him, and keeps the offense moving. That steadiness has value, especially on a roster that already features players who thrive on volatility and explosive moments. There's also the question of how this move would affect the development and usage of other players on the roster. Bringing in a versatile infielder with elite defense creates options. It allows the Yankees to be more strategic with matchups, rest, and positional assignments. Injuries are inevitable over a long season, and having someone who can seamlessly slide between shortstop and second base provides insurance that few teams can match. That flexibility can quietly save a season when things start to break down. From a clubhouse perspective, players like Hoerner tend to elevate those around them. His style of play emphasizes effort, awareness, and execution. He runs hard, he takes extra bases, and he makes routine plays look routine. Those habits matter. They set a standard, particularly for younger players who are still finding their footing at the major league level. The Yankees have spoken often about accountability and fundamentals, and this is the type of player who embodies those values on a daily basis. When evaluating potential trade scenarios, the Yankees are likely weighing short-term impact against long-term cost. Hoerner's remaining contract situation means the price will not be insignificant, but it also means the acquiring team is not taking on an open-ended commitment. For a franchise operating within a defined championship window, that balance can be appealing. The goal is to maximize the present without completely compromising the future, and this is where smart asset management becomes crucial. The Yankees also understand that not every move needs to generate headlines to be transformative. Some of the most important acquisitions in championship runs are the ones that stabilize weaknesses rather than amplify strengths. Hoerner fits that mold perfectly. He does not need to be the face of the franchise. He just needs to do his job at a high level every single day. In many ways, that reliability is exactly what the Yankees have been missing when games slow down and margins tighten. There is a strong argument to be made that this type of player is even more valuable in the postseason. October baseball often neutralizes power through elite pitching and conservative strategies. Games are decided by execution, defense, and situational hitting. A player who avoids strikeouts, advances runners, and plays elite defense in the middle infield can swing a series without ever hitting a home run. That is the kind of hidden value the Yankees are clearly prioritizing in their current evaluations. As trade talks evolve, the Yankees are also keeping an eye on how one move can unlock others. Acquiring a middle infielder with Hoerner's skill set could allow the front office to make additional adjustments later, whether through smaller trades or internal promotions. It creates clarity. Once a true leadoff hitter and defensive anchor are in place, the rest of the roster falls into more natural roles. That clarity is something the Yankees have struggled to achieve in recent seasons. The fan base, understandably, wants decisive action. Silence in the offseason can feel like complacency, but everything suggests that the Yankees are being deliberate rather than passive. They are identifying specific needs and targeting players who address those needs directly. Hoerner's name continues to surface because he represents alignment between philosophy and execution. He is not a gamble. He is a known quantity with a proven track record. Ultimately, the Yankees are at a crossroads where incremental upgrades are no longer enough. They need players who fundamentally change how games unfold. Speed at the top of the lineup, elite defense up the middle, and contact-driven offense are not luxuries anymore. They are necessities. The pursuit of Nico Hoerner reflects that understanding. It signals a willingness to evolve, to adapt, and to acknowledge that winning now requires more than brute force. It requires balance, precision, and players who excel in the margins where championships are often decided. If the Yankees are serious about correcting the flaws that have held them back, this is exactly the type of calculated move that reflects growth in philosophy. It is not flashy, it is not built on hope alone, and it does not rely on projections. It is grounded in proven performance, versatility, and an understanding of what actually wins games when the pressure is highest. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The baseball world is buzzing with a rumor that has sent shockwaves from Tokyo to the Bronx. According to growing speculation circulating among league insiders, Japanese phenom Roki Sasaki has just signed with the New York Yankees, a move that, if confirmed, would instantly reshape the balance of power in the sport. While neither side has officially spoken, the silence itself has only fueled the sense that something monumental is unfolding behind closed doors. Sasaki, long viewed as one of the most electric pitching talents of his generation, has been the subject of fascination for scouts, executives, and fans alike. His rare combination of velocity, command, and composure has drawn comparisons to the greatest arms ever to come out of Japan. For years, the question was not if he would make the leap to Major League Baseball, but where and when. Now, whispers suggest the Yankees may have answered both. The idea of Sasaki wearing pinstripes feels almost too perfect for rumor mill logic. The Yankees are known for pursuing star power, especially players who can thrive under pressure and command the global spotlight. Sasaki, calm yet intimidating on the mound, seems tailor-made for that stage. Sources close to the situation suggest the organization sees him not just as a future ace, but as a long-term symbol of international ambition. What makes the speculation even more intriguing is the secrecy surrounding the alleged agreement. There have been no celebratory leaks, no dramatic announcements, only quiet confidence from those claiming knowledge of the talks. Some believe the Yankees moved swiftly to avoid a bidding war, while others suggest Sasaki himself was drawn to the franchise's history and its promise of competing at the highest level every season. Until official confirmation arrives, the story remains suspended between rumor and reality. Yet one thing is clear. The mere possibility of Roki Sasaki joining the Yankees has already ignited imaginations across the baseball world. And if the whispers prove true, the sport may be on the verge of a new and thrilling chapter. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.